So welcome to the Carvaka Metaphysics course. And Carvaka Metaphysics, we have already done the part 1. So let us go into part 2 of Carvaka Metaphysics. So here I will try to discuss about the implications of the metamaterialism which is found in Carvaka. So one of the implication, as I have in the first half discussed about epiphenomenalism, about how matter they connect matter with reality and how they connect consciousness with matter. So these were the things which we already discussed. So now I'm going to discuss about the non-existence of God and soul. So, denial of the existence of non-perceivable entities. As we know that Carvakas, they are philosophers who accept only perception as the source of knowledge. So for them, anything which is non-perceivable does not exist. So the denial of the existence of non-perceivable entities. So it is already been discussed that mind is the byproduct of matter. We already knew in the last half. So therefore, the soul is only the conscious living body. So they are not accepting a soul. Normally what we do is that in our lives, we think that soul is something spiritual, soul is having a separate entity, it's like that. Okay, so we think like that, a normal vision. But the Charvakas, since they say that no, only matter exists, only perceivable entities are there. So they say that if there is a soul also, then it has to be equivalent to the conscious living body. That means it is the body only. It is not another spiritual being. So the soul's disembodied existence. So it is not having soul is not having any kind of existence. So it cannot be proved. Soul cannot be proved. Therefore, there is no such entity as a soul. So all existence in this world are due to the combination of 4 elements. Yes, we came to know in the last course on Carvaka Metaphysics part 1, we already came to know that the world is the combination of 4 elements. That is why they have rejected ether. So if only material objects are a reality, that means that only material objects are a reality, which is formed from those 4 elements. And those elements are also subjected to formation as well as dissolution. Then another point about the non-existence of God and soul is that the non-existence of God leads to the cancellation of the doctrine of creation. So when there is no God, you cannot prove God. Okay, then how can there be a doctrine of creation? So there is no doctrine of creation. Now, if they are not believers in creation, principle of creation, if they do not believe in God and soul, then what kind of metaphysics are they talking about? So it can be said as Swabhavavada. Swabhava, you know, Swabhava. So Swabhavavada, that means it is the nature. Your Swabhava, when we say, that means your nature. So the first thing is that in Swabhavavada, we have to understand what is the principle behind Swabhavavada. They say that things are not produced by causes. They are because they are. Here we are saying, please follow the second half of the first sentence. Things are not produced by causes. So it is not causal. They are because they are. That means they are because their nature is like that. It is because of their swabhava. Okay, not because somebody has produced it, but they are as they are. But that you will understand gradually when I go into the next few points. So there is no one determinative karma, as we already knew in the points which were placed beforehand. We came to know that one thing was the rejection of karma, rejection of God, rejection of niyati. We have found the points like that. So we have come to know that there is no one determinative principle, whether it may be karma, whether it is God, which is responsible for the properties of things. By properties of things, we mean that supposing we say that all the properties which are connected to the things, okay, like the hot quality or the cold quality or the sharpness, the bluntness, okay, these things. Okay, so these are so it is saying, Carvaka is saying that there is no determinative karma or God which is responsible for the properties of things. The properties of things are formed or they are there because their swabhava is such. Okay? So the things are as they are because of their own nature or swabhava. It is their own swabhava. That is why they are such. Okay. So as I said, fire is hot. Fire has the swabhava of being hot. Water is cool. When we say water is cool, that means water has the property of coolness, and it is their swabhava. Thorn is sharp. Okay, when we say thorn is sharp, that means by nature, thorn is sharp. It is not produced by something else. Well, it is not produced by an ultimate reality, God, or other things. It is not, produced or caused by something else. But its nature is sharp. Thorn is sharp. So because of its own swabhava. Now, Carvaka, when they turn to this naturalistic metaphysics, they rejects other Jagat Karanas. When we say Jagat Karanas, we mean what is the cause of the world. See, it is an inquiry of all uh, Indian systems as well as in the West also. In the Western systems also, we find what is the cause of the world. So they have been proposing so many theories regarding what is the cause of the world. So Carvaka also inquires what is the cause of the world, but they say that they reject other, like they reject God, they reject soul and all this. So they reject karma, they reject niyati, that is fate. So they have rejected all other forms of Jagat Karanas, and they think that what is responsible for this, the karana of the world, what is responsible for this world or the objects of the world, formation of the objects of the world, the swabhava. Okay, thus they can be termed as naturalist or swabhava-vadim. Then comes another point about Swabhavavada, that is, nature has been taken as a force that thrives on its own. So nature has been given importance. So it is the force that can bring out the properties in the things. Now another denial, another point about Carvaka's materialism is that, or implication rather to say, is the denial of the law of karma and niyati, fate. So as we know that the transmigration of soul is not believed by Charvaka philosophers. Okay, since they say that there is no existence of the soul itself. So how can they believe in the transmigration of soul? So the transmigration of soul is not believed by Charvaka philosophers, as there is no disembodied existence of the soul. So this is understood. So the next point is that as such, the death of the body, if there is no transmigration of soul, then what will happen? The death of the body means the end of all activities or karmas of the person. So we will have to remember the whatever was stated in the last part 1 of Charvaka Metaphysics, where in Prabodha Chandradaya it has been stated that it is the end, death is the end of all. That means body is the end of everything. Death of the body, death of the body is the end of all activities. Once a person dies, means everything is finished. So there is no karmas left for Charvakas. Okay, they say that no karmas are left. So everything is finished with the death of the body. So there is no possibility that karmas will be avoided or punished in the future life. So since there is no continuation of a soul which will migrate into another body, as in the other systems of Indian philosophy, we find that there is a passage, from like the soul of one body migrates into another body. But this concept is not accepted by the Charvakas, and that is why they say that with the death of the body, everything ends, all activities ends, all karmas come to an end. So there is no possibility of the law of karma operating. That is, the karmas will not be rewarded or punished in the future life, because they don't talk about the transmigration of soul. Since Charvakas have rejected about the teleology of existence, therefore they have rejected niyati too. Niyati, which we say fate. We say that we sometimes in our ordinary in our day-to-day life we say that, oh, we have to face this because it is our niyati. It is we are determined. Okay. We say that it is destined for me. Sometimes we say that people believe in destinies. So destinies are supposed to be fixed. The thought behind destiny is that it is fixed. Okay, but Charvakas, they do not believe in any kind of purpose of existence. So they say that no, there is no purpose behind anything. Okay, it's just swabhava. It is just your nature. It is just the combination of earth, water, fire, air. The combination of things are there, and just things come accidentally. So there is nothing niyati, no niyati in this. So they reject faith on niyati. Okay, so niyati means the predetermination. So they don't accept any predetermined thing. The next thing that another discussion about Charvaka materialism, or implication, so to say, is there disbelief in moksha. Moksha, as we know, is liberation, which relates to the soul of a person. Again, soul of a person. In Indian philosophy, we see that in the other systems of Indian thought, they have given so much of importance on liberation. Okay, they talk about Jivan Mukti, they talk about Videha Mukti. Okay, but this moksha has not been given importance in Carvaka. They have not accepted. They have expressed their disbelief in moksha. So Carvaka does not accept the existence of soul. Hence, to talk about moksha will be meaningless for them. So when they do not exist, they do not accept the existence of soul. So why to talk about liberation of the soul? So to talk about moksha becomes meaningless for them. Then moksha, yes, that is what I have put it in another point. Moksha has been glorified by almost all Indian philosophical systems, except Carvaka, who refused to accept moksha as a purushartha also. I have also mentioned previously that they are accepting from the four purusharthas, they are accepting they are accepting kama, okay, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Artha also they are accepting, okay, but they are not accepting dharma and moksha. So moksha is not for them. Moksha is not to be accepted. So the next slide is about the rejection of teleology and support of accidentalism. Teleology means a kind of purpose, okay? When we say teleological, that means something is purposeful. You have a purpose. You have a teleology, we say like that. That theory has a, the formation of this thing has a teleology. That means it has some kind of purpose. So when we say teleological theories suggest that there is a purpose behind the formation of the world. Okay, there are Western philosophies as well who have said about the teleology of the world. But Carvaka philosophers does not accept any teleology behind the formation of the world. Okay, why do they don't? Because we already you all can get a hint from the point that we already discussed, that is swabhava. They are talking about swabhava. But another thing that they are talking about is chance, the question of chance. So the universe came into existence by chance, they said, not because of some plan or purpose. So there is no doctrine of creation for the Charvakas. This was originally mentioned, as I mentioned in the first part of the course. So Charvaka thought that some random events might also have been the cause of the universe. So it might be that suddenly things happen, suddenly things come up, and that might also give way to events, the formation of new things. So it might be some random events also, says. Okay, so there is no purpose, no plan for the things to happen. So this view can be also termed as accidentalism. So it's a mere accident and not because of any planned or purposeful thought. Okay, purposefulness is not there. Critical discussions. There has been a lot of critical discussions on the acceptability of Carvaka's metaphysics, and Carvakas were not, much of their works were destroyed, as I said in the first half of my lecture. Much of their works has been destroyed and only some portions are there. And but still, whatever we gather from the things that are available to us, there has been research on this Carvaka's metaphysics also, whether we can accept it or whether we can reject it, or on if we at all we reject it, on what grounds do we reject it. So let's go to the first point. Charvakas reject truth which could not be verified. That we already know. In epistemology also we see that while doing Charvaka epistemology, you all will find that they have accepted only perceptual sources as valid knowledge, or Brahma. Okay, Brahma is valid knowledge, and they accept perception as a valid knowledge. So all truths, when they verify truth, whether it is true or not, it has to be verified. Okay. So, but critics have pointed out a point about the rejection of the soul. They have said that they have gone from the premise the soul cannot be known. Okay, this is the base sentence. For them, the soul cannot be known. Why it cannot be known? Because it is not, it cannot be found in perception. So that is the point on which they reject soul. So their premise is that the soul cannot be known. But what do they conclude? They conclude that the soul does not exist. So from knowability, they are concluding the existence of the soul. The knowability, they are concluding the non-existence, not existence, non-existence of the soul. That the soul cannot be known. They are saying that the premise is the soul cannot be known. And from that, they are concluding that the soul does not exist. That means they are saying that it cannot be known because it cannot be known through perception. But they are saying from that point, they are going to the metaphysical conclusion that the soul does not exist. That means the known, the word known is connected to epistemology. When you're saying that something is can be known or cannot be known, it is an epistemological problem. If you all know epistemology already, that means it is a question of knowledge. The soul cannot be known is a question of knowledge. And the soul does not exist is a metaphysical problem. Because I already stated in the first half that existence is a metaphysical problem. It was Hirianna's view that Charvaka doctrine ascribed the events of life to mere accident. Okay? But this concept of chance is not accepted by all. So some scholars take swabhava in the sense of ahetuvada or accidentalism. That means when we say ahetu, it means something without reason. Okay, because in Indian philosophy, we know that hetu means reason. Okay, so swabhava has been taken in the sense of ahetuvada. Ahetuvada means something without reason. Okay, so when something is without reason, it means that it is happening by some kind of accident. Okay, so some scholars, they have related this swabhava as ahetuvada or accidentalism. Again, some scholars also relate it to the logical corollary of ahetuvada, which is known as akriyavada. That is, see, some scholars, they are relating, when they are relating to ahetuvada, again some others are saying that logical corollary of ahetu is akriya. That means when something is without reason, it is without, there will be no action generated. So akriya, akriyavada. So some scholars have said that since we can say that it is ahetuvada, that is, it is without reason, so can we not say that it is akriyavada? So they have equated Ahetuvada and Akriyavada. So this is another view where Swabhava has been again related to Akriyavada. Philosophers understand Swabhava in terms of causality. They present Swabhava as the cause of change in the world. Thus, they connect Swabhavavada to Kriyavada. See, we have seen that philosophers, they have understood Swabhava in different ways. Okay, so there are again some philosophers who have related Swabhava, who has thought Swabhava to be the cause of the world. Okay, some have thought that no, Swabhava is Ahetu. So somebody has, some philosophers have said that it is Ahetu. And some have said that no, it is the cause, which is causing all the changes in the world. So that means since it can change, if you relate Swabhava to cause, that means it is producing something. It is action oriented. So when it is action oriented, it is Kriyavada. Okay. So when it is Kriyavada, they are again relating, and this group of philosophers are relating Swabhava to causality, and causality which can change the world, and this change of the world is can be termed change of the world can be connected to the Kriyavada. So this group of philosophers have connected Swabhavavada to Kriyavada. So these are critical points, where the first point was about how an epistemological premise can relate to a metaphysical conclusion. Another thing is about the critical discussion about whether chance is accepted by all. It has to be remarked that no, chance is not accepted by all of the philosophers. Then how do they regard Swabhava as? So some of the philosophers, they regard Swabhava as Ahetuvada, accidentalism. That is why scholars, they also relate Swabhava to Akriyavada. And just the opposite, in the last paragraph, we have seen that some scholars have also related Swabhava to causality, and therefore they believe that it is the cause of the world, which is Kriya, which is again said as Kriyavada. Kriyavada or Kriyavada is accepted by different philosophers according to their own reasons. Thank you.